Greetings. In this video, I will demonstrate how to use AnyLingo, a new web application that combines the power of artificial intelligence, subconscious training, and guided self-learning. To help you achieve fluency in any alphabet-based language in about a year. The core pedagogy of AnyLingo revolves around subconscious training. This approach mimics the way we have acquired our native language and emphasizes automatic communication over memorization of explicit grammar rules. Learners are immersed in the target language from the beginning, while forgetting and an innate habit of cross-translating are automatically eliminated. AnyLingo is based on implicit learning, acquiring language organically through extensive exposure to authentic input. This method allows the brain to subconsciously recognize and internalize language patterns, grammatical structures, and idiomatic expressions. AnyLingo is a valuable tool for learners of all levels. Beginners use Special English, speech rate of 0.7, and support in their native language. Intermediate learners overcome the plateau in learning quickly by allowing their brain to identify and internalize language patterns, grammatical structures, and idiomatic expressions subconsciously. Advanced learners use self-personalized lessons with vocational texts, thus combining fluency and vocational training. AnyLingo tracks active vocabulary and fluency in each lesson, aiming to assess the learner's progress in developing fluency. A specially designed Flow Speech Fluency Testing, acronym FSFT, is utilized for this purpose. The Flow Speech Fluency Testing web application is detailed in another post and can be used separately from AnyLingo web application. I created AnyLingo with the Manus.im artificial intelligence platform. We live in the era of artificial intelligence. Educators are split into two opposing camps. Some educators believe that AI will completely change education. Another group of educators believes that AI hysteria is hurting our students. It's concerning how quickly AI is being adopted in education without sufficient critical analysis of what that means for learning. For instance, AI personalized lessons and language practice with AI chatbots often prove ineffective because they fundamentally rely on explicit learning. The widespread hype about AI transforming education has not been critically evaluated. We cannot expect much impact if we apply AI tools to teaching methods that are already outdated. AnyLingo offers a new approach that combines three revolutions. And now I will demonstrate how to use AnyLingo. When you open AnyLingo web application, you will see this first display. Develop fluency in multiple foreign languages. The AnyLingo web application is ready to use. Let's consider the buttons above. Create a new lesson, content, read aloud, translation, drill exercises, and record. What is interesting that AnyLingo comes with 0 lessons and possibility to create unlimited number of lessons according to the language levels and interests of you as a customer, as a learner. So first of all, we have to create the first new lesson. Click on the Create a New Lesson, and here we should type the lesson which you want to create. For example, I want to create the lesson based on the book The Alchemist. I go to the Copilot or any other AI which I use and ask to create the lesson for me, which is for beginner English learners, contains 400 words, and is based on the book The Alchemist. I copy the created lesson and paste it into this window. So we have created a lesson which we are interested in based on the book Alchemist, and now we paste the content in this window. Here is the lesson created, and when we scroll to the bottom, we have Save Lesson button. Lesson saved successfully. If we scroll to the top and click on the next button, Content, we would see that the lesson, The Alchemist, is already here. You can understand that the number of lessons and the topics of the lessons are unlimited, and you can create them for learning different languages in different languages. So the next button is Drill Exercises. When we click on the drill exercises, we see here Drill 1. Here is the instruction. Listen to the lesson being read aloud and follow along with the text. This helps with comprehension and pronunciation. Start listening.
In a small Andalusian village, Santiago, a young shepherd, dreamed of a distant treasure buried beneath the Egyptian pyramids. His nights were filled with visions of gold and ancient wonders, and his days were spent tending to his flock, pondering the meaning of his dreams. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Santiago met an old man who claimed to be a king. The king spoke of personal legends, the unique paths each person must follow to achieve their deepest desires. Intrigued and inspired, Santiago sold his sheep and embarked on a journey to fulfill his destiny. His travels took him across the vast deserts of Africa, where he encountered thieves, merchants, and wise men. Each person he met imparted valuable lessons, teaching him about the soul of the world and the interconnectedness of all things.
And here you have the options to select the speed. Probably at the beginning, you should have special English, that is speech rate 0.7. You can select voices in different languages, depending on which language you are learning. And then you can go to the lesson and click the button Start.
In a small Andalusian village, Santiago, a young shepherd, dreamed of a distant treasure buried beneath the Egyptian pyramids. His nights were filled with visions of gold and ancient wonders, and his days were spent tending to his flock, pondering the meaning of his dreams. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Santiago met an old man who claimed to be a king. The king spoke of personal legends, the unique paths each person must follow to achieve their deepest desires.
I will stop it because I want to show you another option of reading the text. If you highlight this text and then click on these three dots, you have the option to select another version of Read Aloud. This version is different from the first version of Read Aloud because it gives you the voice options to select voice speed, and again it gives you also the option to select the voice or the language of reading. If instead of this button Start, you click this button Start.
Small Andalusian village, Santiago, a young shepherd, dreamed of a distant treasure buried beneath the Egyptian pyramids. His nights were filled with visions of gold and ancient wonders, and his days were spent tending to his flock, pondering the meaning of his dreams. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Santiago met an old man who claimed to be a king. The king spoke of personal legends, the unique paths each person must follow to achieve their deepest desires. Intrigued and inspired, Santiago sold his sheep and embarked on a journey to fulfill his destiny. His travels took him across the vast deserts of Africa, where he encountered thieves, merchants, and wise men. Each person he met imparted valuable lessons, teaching him about the soul of the world and the interconnectedness of all things.
I will stop here to save time, and now we should go again to the top of the screen and go to drill exercises and select drill 2. highlight, and translate. Highlight words or phrases you do not understand, then translate them to your native language. Shepherd. You highlight the whole sentence. Click on the three dots here and click copy. Then you open Google Translate application and put it here. The translation is shown here immediately. You can translate the word or a whole sentence or paragraph, or you can translate the whole lesson. To translate the whole lesson into your native language, for example, Spanish, you highlight the whole lesson and click the button Copy. Then open Google Translate and click and paste it here. I want to stress that for beginner learners who have difficulty to understand the text in English and who know only some words, they may use the translation into their native language to get acquainted with the content of the lesson. And each time you select a sentence, on the left side you see the translation. In such a way, you can prepare yourself to work on the text of the lesson exclusively in English. There's another option which beginners may use. At the bottom of the translation into your native language, there is a button Listen. If you click on this button, you will hear the translation in your native language pronounced in your native language. However, I recommend to listen to this translation with your closed eyes.
En un pequeño pueblo andaluz, Santiago, un joven pastor, soñaba con un tesoro lejano enterrado bajo las pirámides egipcias. Sus noches se llenaban de visiones de oro y maravillas antiguas. Y su
Let me explain why should you close your eyes. We use about 65% of our brain power to visualize our environment. When we close our eyes, that free energy is used for visualizing the text. We are creating the video in our mind, and then we will work on the text exclusively in English using the video which you have created in your mind. Now we select drill 3. Read the text aloud at the same time as the audio plays. This helps develop fluency and natural rhythm. This is the most important drill which will help you to develop fluency and the ability to speak automatically. To start using this drill, that is, read, listen, and speak simultaneously, we need to highlight the whole text. Then we click on 3 dots and click Read Aloud. That the Read Aloud function appeared here.
start reading together. In a small Andalusian village,
Santiago,
a young shepherd, dreamed of a distant treasure buried beneath the Egyptian pyramids. His nights were filled with visions of gold and ancient wonders, and his days were spent tending to his flock, pondering the meaning of his dreams. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Santiago met an old man who claimed to be a king. The king spoke of personal legends, the unique paths each person must follow to achieve their deepest desires. Intrigued and inspired, Santiago sold his sheep and embarked on a journey to fulfill his destiny. His travels took him across the vast deserts of Africa, where he encountered thieves, merchants, and wise men. Each person he met imparted valuable lessons, teaching him about the soul of the world and the interconnectedness of all things. I stop here to save the time, and you understand that you have to do this exercise many times. If you, during the 3 actions, perform simultaneously reading, speaking, and listening, omit some words, it's okay. Next time when you repeat, you will do those words, and thus you activate your subconscious mind and develop the ability to speak automatically. When you perform this drill many times, some learners do it 10 times or even more, then you can go to drills at the top of the display and click drill exercises. When you click on this drill, Flow Speech Fluency Testing, you see there's a drill which is available in AnyLingo Web application for each lesson. This test measures your speech fluency in words per minute by having you speak about randomly selected words. The Flow Speech Fluency Testing is available in 13 languages. If you click here, you will see all languages in which the tool is available. We are interested in English, so here are the instructions. You will be presented with random words in the selected language. For each word, you should speak 2 or 3 sentences about the experience which this word ignites in you. Speak at least as fast as you can while maintaining clarity. Click Stop Recording when finished with each word. If you don't know a word, click Do Not Know without recording. Your microphone will be used to record your speech. Please ensure your device has a working microphone. To see the current word, we have to click Start Test. If you want to become fluent in English, you have to use the AnyLingo program not only every week, but at least 2 or 3 times a week, preferably 3 times a week, 2 hours each time.
Each person has two kinds of minds, conscious mind, subconscious mind, but not each person knows that most of his activity, daily activity, is controlled subconsciously. Fluency, or how many words per minute you can produce, determines your eligibility, your ability to continue study in English or to pass standardized English tests, exams. So fluency is a very important factor. Many teachers were not pleased when I explained in my post that teacher cannot implement subconscious training because to do that, learners must have environment in which they can do three actions: see the text, listen to the recording, and speak at the same time. A teacher cannot do it in the classroom. He needs to have a special application to implement subconscious training in his class. Many things in my house bought because they are useful or beautiful. Although I have found recently in my garage a lot of things which I don't use, and actually I was surprised. Why did I buy them? You don't need a reason to start learning a foreign language, especially if we are talking about English, because English is a language of global economy, is a language of peace, understanding, and ability to understand the world revolution in information. Each moment we should consider as now. When we consider the life only as a now moment, it will create more positivity. We would understand that in most cases, our reactions associated with the past would be not as severe when we understand that they have no impact on the now moment. Not many people understand that health, to a great extent, depends on the way of thinking. If you constantly have negative thoughts or fear, your health will be quickly deteriorating because you constantly bombard it with negative thoughts. Besides, there is a law that says that the universe provides you with the environment which you are thinking about or you create in your mind. Now we see the fluency test results. Fluency rate is 60 words per minute. Total words spoken 472. And here's the total recording time. You see that the fluency was measured accurately, and I must tell you, I am not a native speaker, and that fluency 60 words per minute would not allow me to pass English standardized test. To pass English standardized test, the fluency rate must be above 120 words per minute. It was shown by many studies, and ETS, the company that organized and produced most English standardized tests, have published a lot of articles about fluency required to pass standardized tests, saying that at least it should be 120 words per minute or preferably 150 words per minute, which means that you have to develop your fluency before you can pass any standardized English test. That ends my video about AnyLingo fluency, and now I recommend you to start using it regularly, and you will see very soon your progress in developing fluency. Thank you.